Alright, welcome back, brethren, to part 2 of this series dealing with the Mandela effect, and my video is an open rebuke with Scott Johnson. Now we're going to get, in this second part, we're going to be getting into the alleged changes that both Scott Johnson and other Mandelites like him are saying has happened in the King James Bible, how the King James Bible has been supernaturally changed in hundreds, if not thousands of places, and is still being supernaturally changed at this very moment. And so the first one is actually a very, very big, major one, they say. It's a very major change, they say, has happened in the King James Bible. And that's the one where it's dealing with Isaiah 11:6, where the King James Bible says it's the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. Let me go and read it here. This is one of the verses they really do attack here in the King James Bible. Isaiah 11:6 says here the following: "The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them." Now, where they contend, or they contest with it, what they contest in this verse is they say that the wolf is the wrong. It's a wrong rendering. That is the change that has happened in the King James Bible. They say that it used to say the lamb, and that it did not say the wolf before. They say prior to 2009, they claim that the King James Bible has always said the lamb shall lie down with the lion. They say it never said the wolf. Okay. Now, of course, I'm going to be presenting you evidence, tangible proof, that the King James Bible, not only the King James Bible has always said the wolf shall dwell with the lamb, but also English Bibles that preceded the King James Bible have also said the wolf. They've also used the rendering of the wolf shall dwell with the lamb in Isaiah 11 verse 6. And you're going to notice too, by the way, this is something that I basically have seen with Scott Johnson. When I listened to his whole 8-part mega series on this Mandela effect, I noticed that he said throughout his study, he said this a lot throughout his mega study, and that was, he said, this thing is irrefutable. These changes are absolutely irrefutable. They cannot be debunked. It's impossible to debunk them. And you're going to find out why he says that, why he can get away with saying that. And him and the other people, the Mandelites that have basically, taken a hold of this whole heresy and have run with it. You're going to see why they say that, why they make those claims that these changes, these alleged changes, cannot be, debunked or repudiated. You're going to see why they actually say that. Nearing the end of the study, I'm going to show you why they actually say that. No matter what you present to them, no matter what evidence you give them or proof, it's not good enough for them. I'm going to show you why while they'll reject the proof you give to them, why they will reject your evidence, your tangible evidence that you'll show them, and why they say that this whole issue, this whole Mandela phenomenon cannot be refuted. And he said that a lot too. Again, throughout his whole 8-part study, and again, he says that he believes it's one of the most solid, one of the best and the most rock solid teachings he's done in a good while. And yet he continued to repeat that the Mandela effect is irrefutable. The changes are absolutely irrefutable. You cannot debunk them according to him. But again, like I said, nearing the end of the study, I'm going to show you why he says that and why other people are claiming that as well in regards to this subject. But having said that, let's go ahead and deal with this alleged change here. And again, I'm going to be reading to you this email, which this is my email to Scott Johnson, dealing with these alleged changes that he claims have happened in the King James Bible supernaturally by CERN and the D-Wave quantum computers. Okay, and that's the following. Number 1. Is it lion lays down with the lamb, or is it the wolf shall dwell with the lamb? Isaiah 11:6. The people that claim that the King James Bible, this is me speaking here, The people that claim that the King James Bible uses to say lion, the lion shall lay down with the lamb, are wrong. This claim is simply not true. I looked into this to see if it could be validated, and it just could not, brother. And then I gave him a website here. I gave him a website is Bible Hub. I gave him a link to Bible Hub, and I gave him the Isaiah 11:6 verse. And basically, I showed him that even the modern versions, like the New International Version, the NIV, the New Living Translation, and the English Standard Version, even the modern versions have the rendering of the wolf, shall dwell or live with the lamb. I'll read to you the NIV's rendering of it, of Isaiah 11:6. It says here the following: the wolf will live with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the goat. I'm not going to read to you the whole verse in each of these, some of these modern translations, just for the sake of time. I'll just read the first part of it. New Living Translation says, "In that day the wolf and the lamb will live together." English Standard Version, ESV, says the following: "The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the young goat." And the Berean Study Bible says, "The wolf will live with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the goat." And then, of course, the real Bible, the King James Bible, says, "The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb." And I read this to you already. And the leopard shall lie down with the kid. So I gave him that website to show him that also just virtually all of the Bibles have the wolf shall lay down or shall live or shall dwell with the lamb as they're rendered in Isaiah 11:6. But let me go ahead and continue reading my email to him. This link I just gave you, where it lists Isaiah 11:6 in the Bible Hub, will show you that even the modern versions, such as the NIV, ESV, NLT, and others, have the rendering of the wolf dwelling or living with the lamb. I did not see any rendering where it says the lion shall dwell with the lamb. Not even one of the modern versions have it rendered as the lion shall lay down with the lamb. It simply is not there. All of them say it is the wolf which shall live or dwell with the lamb. And even when you look into the commentaries listed in that Bible Hub website, they also note about the wolf dwelling with the lamb in the millennial kingdom. When the lion is mentioned in Isaiah chapter 11 verses 6 through 7 in the KJV, it mentions that the lion and the fatling and the calf will dwell together, and that the lion will eat straw like the ox. The leopard will lie down with a kid. Also, I will give you the rendering of Isaiah 11 verse 6 as it read in the very original 1611 edition of the KJV. And that also, brethren, is what I'm going to show you right now. Here is my pile of evidence, tangible evidence, tangible proof, if you will, that the King James Bible has always said, the wolf shall dwell with the lamb in Isaiah 11:6. Okay? Here, and of course, as I'm dealing with these other alleged changes, you're going to see how I'm going to provide, for each verse, I'm going to show you a digital scan of a photocopy of what the very original AD 1611 said. Okay? And so that way there's no excuse. You can't say that you weren't shown what the original 1611 said, because here it is. And so let me go ahead and show you here the original, what the original 1611, AD 1611 said in Isaiah 11:6. Right here, you'll see here, you should see the rendering there. And you'll notice that it says the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. It doesn't say lion, it says the wolf. And of course, that just look that's where I highlighted it. So I hope you're able to see that, because I'm trying to have enough good light in here to where you can be able to, see it clearly. But basically, there you go. Again, a digital scanned copy of the 1611 and what it had as its rendering back even in 1611. So my question to Scott is, how do you answer that? Let's continue here. Let's see here. And then I gave him the rendering of Isaiah 11:6 also, as it is found in the Wycliffe Bible. And the Wycliffe Bible says, a wolf shall dwell with a lamb and a child, or I'm sorry, and it's kind of hard to read the print of the Wycliffe Bible because the words, the way that they're spelled is just so different. But it says here, and I think it's, yeah, and the pard, or I guess that's a leopard, shall rest with a kid. So again, even the Wycliffe Bible back in the, I think it's 14th century, even the Wycliffe Bible says the wolf shall, dwell with the lamb. And then I gave him also the Bishop's Bible, how the Bishop's Bible had had Isaiah 11:6 rendered. And it also says, the wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the goat. And again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to read the whole verse of Isaiah 11:6 in these other Bibles. I'm just going to read the first line for the sake of time. Then I gave him the Coverdale Bible, the 1535 Coverdale Bible, and I showed him how the Coverdale Bible renders Isaiah 11:6. It reads the following: Then shall ye wolf dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down by the goat. And then I wrote the following. Now, before moving on to the next example, I gave him a video. This is a video of a teacher showing also that even in the earliest scripture account, that even when they found the scroll of Isaiah, the Dead Sea Scrolls, it also said the same thing: a wolf shall dwell with the lamb. So even in Isaiah scrolls, Isaiah is found in those scrolls. It didn't say the lion shall, lay down with the wolf. It didn't say the lion shall lay down with the lamb. It says a wolf. The wolf shall lay down or dwell with the lamb. And in the video, this teacher says that the rendering is the original scripture in Isaiah 11:6. He goes on to say that the verse teaches that the predator will simply lay down with the prey in the millennial kingdom. And exactly, that's the whole point of Isaiah 11:6. The whole point of that verse, within the context of that chapter about the millennial kingdom, is that simply the predator, which is the wolf, will lay down with the prey, the lamb, and they will live at peace with each other. And so here I gave him a link to that video, and of course I gave him another link to another video where a brother in Christ also deals with that objection, and he deals with it very humbly. He deals with it in a spirit of meekness and humility. And then after that, I wrote to Scott Johnson, and I said, it should also be pointed out, Brother Scott, that the lion is not a known predator of the lamb. Lions are they're not a known predator of the lamb, but rather the wolf is a known predator of the lamb. Please see Matthew 7:15, Matthew 10:16, and Luke 10:3, as well as Acts 20:29. Hence, once again, Brother Scott, the KJV rendering of the wolf shall dwell with the lamb also makes much more sense. And it does. Okay, now that's the end of my first official, my first email, which I emailed Scott. Now I'm going to go to my second email. Now this is where I really got into the more of the alleged changes here, and I'm basically going to be going through all of these alleged changes that I dealt with, personally. And doing this study on my own, I think I remember Pastor Sam Adams mentioning that it took him just 4 days to just find the evidence and the proof and the information that he needed to debunk the whole Mandela effect. 4 days. And Scott Johnson has been looking into this thing for 4 years, and and that's my question too. I mean, Sam Adams was thinking, he made the statement, I do agree with Sam Adams. He made a statement that he believes that Scott, the reason why he has not found the proof or the evidence to debunk the Mandela effect is because simply Scott did not want to find the evidence, and I agree with that. It took me, I don't even know if it took me 4 days to come up, with this, to find this information. Easily debunking the Mandela effect and the alleged changes. I don't know if it even took me 4 days. Probably only took me like maybe a day, maybe a day and a half, if that, to just find this needed information. But yeah, Scott Johnson has been looking into this thing for 4 years, and he is totally, he's totally somehow oblivious to this information that I'm going to be sharing with you, getting ready to right now share with you. It's incredible. It's amazing. Now we're going to be dealing with the second alleged change that the Mandelites say has happened in the King James Bible, and that is a marketplace or house of merchandise. The Mandelites claim that the King James Bible has been changed in Matthew 20 verse 3. It used to say house of merchandise to where it now says marketplace. Okay, so again, let's go ahead and examine this claim now. Of course, we're going to go back to my digital scanned copies of the original 1611, and we're going to see here that their claim is false. Okay, the King James Bible has, in that verse there, Matthew 20 verse 3, has always said marketplace. Right here, where again you see I have it highlighted. That is, you can clearly see that the King James Bible, the original 1611 Bible, in Matthew 20 verse 3, clearly said marketplace. It did not say house of merchandise. So again, I don't understand what the Mandelites' point for attacking that verse was. And basically this is what I wrote to Scott here. I gave him basically the Wycliffe Bible. I gave him some of the older English Bibles that preceded the 1611 KJV. I gave him first the Wycliffe Bible, 1394, and it reads the following: and he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the chipping. It's kind of hard to read the Wycliffe Bible. Again, the words, just worded very differently. It doesn't. So it's very interesting though. The Wycliffe Bible doesn't have marketplace. It has chipping, and I guess that was just another word for Yeah, it would have to be another word for marketplace, but it's just spelled the way it's spelled is very unique, though, I should say that. But then I gave him the Tyndale Bible, the 1531 Tyndale Bible, and it reads the following: and he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. So the Tyndale Bible has Matthew 20 verse 3, the very last word rendered as marketplace. 1535 Coverdale Bible, and about the third hour he went out and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And next one I gave him was the Matthew's Bible, 1537 Matthew's Bible, and he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. Okay, let me just kind of show you here real quick, just in case you want to see that. Clearly it says marketplace, and I'm giving in the older Bible versions. It doesn't say, you can see it doesn't say, house of merchandise. Great Bible, again, marketplace. Geneva Bible, marketplace. Bishop's Bible, again, the rendering is marketplace. So I don't see what the point is. Why would they attack that verse, and say, I just don't get it. And then I write the following: as we should see by now, Brother Scott, the rendering of marketplace is correct. Not only does the Holy Bible, not only does the blessed King James Holy Bible use it, but so do a good number of other Bibles as well use that very term. I should also note that the phrase den of thieves was not changed or altered. The phrase den of thieves, appears 3 times in the King James Bible, and it appears in the following verses: Matthew 21:13, Mark 11 verse 17, and Luke 19:46. And I mentioned the phrase den of thieves because I think he was implying that den of thieves was somehow changed in the King James Bible, which it wasn't. A den of thieves is still found, that phrase is still found in the King James Bible, and it's found 3 times, a total of 3 times. The next alleged change is another big one for the Mandelites. They say that in the Lord's Prayer in Matthew chapter 6, verse 14, or I should say, actually verse 12, they say that they claim that verse 12 used to have trespasses in the Lord's Prayer, and now it's been changed to debts. Okay, and we're gonna look at that. First, let me show you what the original AB 1611 said. in Matthew chapter 6. Let's see here. In Matthew chapter 6, as you'll see, in verse 12, you'll see right here that the original 1611 also did say debts. It didn't say trespasses, it said debts and debtors. So again, my question to Scott and the other Mandelites, what do they do with that verse? What do they do with this evidence? And this is, again, what I wrote here. Now, before looking at some of the other Bibles that were before the King James Bible, let us take into consideration this fact. And that is simply this, Brother Scott. The King James Holy Bible does have the word trespasses in the Lord's Prayer, and it does. In the Lord's Prayer, the word trespass or trespasses is mentioned in the Lord's Prayer. Consider the whole passage of the following scripture. The word trespasses will be in bold and highlighted. And I basically gave him the passage of Matthew chapter 6 verses 9 down through 15. And you'll see that in verses 14 through 15, the word trespass is mentioned. Trespasses. So the King James Bible was in, the word trespasses was never taken out of the King James Bible. It's still in there. It's just that the Scott Johnson and the Mandelites, they have a bad recollection. They have a bad memory as to where the word trespasses appears in the Lord's Prayer. So, again, and then I wrote this to him. Hence, we see that the word trespasses is clearly used. It is used 3 times. And so, debts, the word debts is no error. It belongs in the King James Bible just as much as trespasses does. And so I went ahead and I showed him some other, the older English Bibles and how they have Matthew 6 rendered. And again, I gave him the 1394 Wycliffe Bible. I showed him that it also has debts and debtors. And of course, I showed him also that this is another phrase that the Mandelites kind of are claiming has been changed. They say that in the Lord's Prayer, the phrase "in earth" is inaccurate. You just say "on earth," but now it says "in earth." Well, it always said "in earth." Even in the older Bibles, the phrase is "Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven." It doesn't say "on earth." But again, I mean, what's the difference? It said "on earth" or "in earth." What doctrinal change does that even if it did say "on earth" or rather than "in earth"? What doctrinal change would happen? You know, it wouldn't affect doctrine at all. Then I give him the Tyndale Bible. Again, it says here, "Thy will be fulfilled as well in earth as it is in heaven." It doesn't say on earth; it says in earth. And then in Matthew 6:12 in the Tyndale Bible, it says, and actually, wait a minute. It does say, it says, "Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive our trespassers." So that's interesting. In the Tyndale Bible, the word debts is not in there. And debts and debtors is not in the Tyndale Bible. It's actually trespasses and trespassers. So, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So I didn't hide that. I still, quoted, still gave that reference to Scott Johnson to show him I'm being consistent here. I'm going to show you what these major Bibles say. And I even put that in here. I said, now that's interesting. The Tyndale renders Matthew 6:12 as "Forgive us our trespasses," and it does not say debts. And then I gave him the other Bible, the Coverdale Bible, 1535, Coverdale Bible, and it says this, "Thy will be fulfilled upon earth." It didn't say in earth, it actually said upon earth. But in Matthew 6:12 it says, "And forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors." So the Coverdale Bible has debts and debtors in that verse. We see here now, while the Coverdale renders verse 10 as "Thy will be fulfilled upon earth," nevertheless verse 12 is rendered as "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors." And of course, hence the Coverdale and the Wycliffe Bible line up with and agree with the King James Bible, with the King James Holy Bible reading. And then Matthew's Bible also says, "Thy will be fulfilled as well in earth as it is in heaven." And it says, "Forgive us our forgive us our trespasses as we forgive us our trespassers. So there's another Bible this is a Bible that lines up with the Tyndale Bible. And that's in Matthew 15:37. So again, I didn't omit that. I clearly acknowledged that that's the way it was rendered, in that particular Bible. But in the Bishop's Bible, the 1568 Bishop's Bible, we see here that, I'll actually show you here real quick. Again, in the Bishop's Bible, we see that it does say, in earth as it is in heaven. And then in verse 12 it says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. So, as you see, there's definite evidence showing that, the word debts and debtors was always in the Lord's Prayer. It was not changed, it wasn't a change that was made by the, CERN or the D wave quantum computers, as the Mandelites falsely claim. So again, I write here to Brother Scott, we see another scriptural witness verifying that the term debts, debtors, and in earth are all correct and have indeed been used by other Bibles down through history, which is basically what I had showed him. And then we go on to the next alleged change here, which is stream or floods. Okay, this is another verse that they are contesting. This is another passage that they claim has been changed. They say it should not be stream. The King James Bible rendering of stream should not be that. It should not be that word. It should say floods. So let me go ahead and get this one out. This next digital copy here. Let me see where I have it highlighted here. You'll notice here in the original 1611 in Luke chapter 6 verses 48 that both words flood and stream appear in the passage. So again, what do they say to that? What do you do with that, Brother Scott? Both terms are correct. They're both accurate. I don't see what the big issue is here. See here. I wrote the following here. People that adhere to the Mandela effect also claim that the word stream was not originally in the King James Bible, but rather the term flood was. And so let's look at the two places in Scripture where the term stream occurs in the Gospel of Luke. Luke chapter, and of course I already showed you from the digital copies of the original 1611 that stream was in the King James Bible in that passage. And then I just wrote here, now having read the passage and the disputed verses, let's revisit the question which I asked, which one is it? Is it stream or floods? And the answer is that it is actually both. Again, they're both fine. They're both fine renderings. And then in Matthew chapter 7 verse 25, it says the following, and the rain descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. Then in Matthew 7:27, it says the following, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. The word floods, therefore, was never taken out of the Bible. It was never taken out of the King James Bible. It's always been in there. It was simply in Matthew, see, and it was in Luke too. It's just it came right before. It comes right before the word stream in Luke's gospel account, and then in Matthew's gospel account, the word floods it's in both verse 25 and verse 27 in Matthew chapter 7. While the word stream is in Luke, and I thought it was interesting though that the original 1611 KJV has both floods and streams in Luke 6:48. And of course, I just showed you all that. And then I get to the next alleged change here, and again, this is another big one, and this is going to be the alleged change of dealing with wineskins or bottles. Okay, but I see here, brethren, I'm actually running down on time again, so I'm gonna have to stop this video and then just continue on in this series in the next part. So again, thank you for watching.